So the remainder is now containing whatever is the quotient after dividing it by 10. So I get 25. Now from 25, I want this particular number 5. How do I get 5? Whatever is the remainder that you have kept here, okay? Whatever is the remainder, if I again divide it by 10, okay? After dividing by 10, when you divide by 10, what is going to happen? 25 divided by 10 is going to be 2, but the remainder is going to be 5. So this is the remainder after dividing by 10. So I'll get 5. So if I say something like this, can I say hash, if I say now remainder is 25, now 25, if I divide it by 10 and get a modulus or get a remainder, I'm going to get remainder as 5, which means that is my second digit. So can I say this is my middle digit? So I have my LSD, that is the lowest significant digit. Then I have the MD, that is the middle digit. And of course, I need to again calculate a new remainder. What is a new remainder or the new quotient? Okay, so which means I need to do rem, that is the old remainder was what? It was 25. Now I want only the 2 out of it. So remainder, if I do floor division by 10, if I do floor division by 10, I will get this new remainder as 2. But that 2 is nothing but my most significant digit, or it is my highest significant digit, which means I don't need to store it as rem again, but I can store this as HSD. Actually it is most significant digit, MSD, but then just not to confuse with MD, I'm just saying it as HSD. So can I say my HSD is equal to my 25 divided or the floor division by 10, which is equal to 2. Okay, so now I have the LSD and now I have the MD and I have the HSD. So the highest significant digit is now 2 is there inside this. That means I have 2 here. In this MD I have 5 and over here I have 3. So I have 3, 5 and 2 in 3 variables. Now all I need to do is reverse it out, which means I need to return. What do I need to return? I need to return, if the number was 253, I need to return for him 352. How do I do that? Can I do something like this? The LSD will now become the MSD. The LSD will now become the new most significant digit or the highest significant digit, but this I have to multiply it by 100. So LSD is what? 3 multiplied by 100 is 300, but I need to add along with it the MD multiplied by 10. That means 5 multiplied by 10, that is 50, 350. And I also need to add the new LSD or the HSD of the number that was given to the function. So I return this. Now let me just check if I've got the reverse of the number. I just need to print it. How do I print it? Let's say print the reverse of the number. The reverse of the number is comma rev num. That's it, rev of num, where rev is the function that you're going to call and num is the parameter or the 3-digit number from the user which you have received that you are passing into this particular function. It is calling this particular function and passing this parameter, that is 253. From that 253 you are then analyzing it, dividing, modulus and so on, and finally you're returning the reverse of the number which you are just printing onto the screen. Let's see if this works. Okay, so if this works, so let's say I'm going to just say F5. So it says source must be saved. Okay, so I'm going to save it. Let me say I'm saving it in my desktop, Python for IoT, and I'm going to save it here as rev, and of course I also need sum, so rev sum. Okay, so sum is something later which I will just say. So when I say 253, I'm getting the reverse of the number is 352. Can I get it for any particular number? Yes, it tells me 250. Enter a 3-digit number, so I'm going to enter something like 846. 846, it says it is 648. Reverse of the number is 648. With this we have understood how to use the arithmetic operators very well. Now is it very simple to say that I can also, if I can get the individual digits in three different variables, I can also return the sum. Sum also can be easily returned. How can I easily return the sum? By adding those three digits one after the other, I can return the, is that clear? Okay, so if I can do that, how do I do that? Maybe you will say, okay, I need to define another function. But sir, I want to use the same function. I want to use the same function to return for me the reverse also, and I want to return the sum also. How do I return the reverse also, and how do I return the sum also? I return two things. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to define something called as the rev and sum. I'm going to say rev sum. Okay, so rev sum, and this function is now going to return for me what? It's going to return the reverse as well as it's going to return the sum. SUMM, I have called it just like that. Okay, so how do I do that? How do I do that? Sir, how do I return two things? Of course, you know it very well. I need to return the reverse. I can return it like this, but the sum is nothing but I need to just add these three values. That means LSD plus MD plus HSD. That's it. So can I say my sum is nothing but equal to my HSD plus MD plus LSD? Okay, I just need to return this much. Okay, so how do I return this, sir? Is it possible for me to return two values? Is it possible for me? Okay, let me say I'm just going to define this rev also separately so that you don't get the reverse. I don't need to return this entire thing here itself. I'll just cut it and I'll just put it here. So the reverse of the entire number is stored in a variable rev, and the sum of the number is stored in s. So how do I return two things? Can I return two things? Yes, I can. Python says you can. Okay, you just need to return it something like this: rev comma sum. If you can return sum, that means, sorry, s, the sum is stored in s. I'm going to just return that. When I return it, it says, okay, so that means two things are being returned when I call this particular function. So now I just cannot do this.